Like, no, this is not valid, and you're.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
How are you? Let me
Doing great.
fix my thing here.
Good afternoon, Judge. Good to see you.
Good afternoon. Good to see you. Hold on a second. All right, let me grab my Miss Lewis.
Yes, ma'am.
I was looking to see, you sent me, I think I just printed, but hold on a second. The paperwork, we're gonna do those at the end or the beginning?
I just sent you the 2 pages of the information that we needed for today.
Yeah, do you want to do those at the beginning or the end? What are they telling you?
It would be nice to do it at the beginning if they're back on, because I don't know if their power came back on or not. Do you know, Mr. Dozie?
Your Honor, I spoke with, good afternoon, Your Honor. I spoke with Deputy Milton at ACDC a few minutes ago. She tells me that the power is still out, so I'm not sure if we'll be able to take those pleas today. I don't know if anyone in courtroom 2 has a more up-to-date update, but it sounds like Milton was, unless there was some last-minute change, requesting a reset.
Okay. Courtroom 2. Courtroom 2?
Yes, ma'am.
You know, I'm going to tease you. Did you cut the power to ACDC?
Not this time.
Not this time. Exactly. Are they still out of commission?
Yes, ma'am.
They are. Okay. We were going to try to take the pleas first to get them out of the way since they were held over from SAP this morning, but we'll have to do something different. Maybe by the end, and we can do them at the end if they get their power restored.
If they get their power restored, Judge, if they do not get their power restored, we can just reset them to Tuesday SAP calendar.
Okay. All right. Not tomorrow's SEA.
And Your Honor, I spoke with when I spoke with Deputy Milton, she was not confident that she would be able to bring them in time, even if the power was addressed. I would request a reset. I don't know who's handling the C calendar tomorrow.
That would be Judge Law.
If possible, I know a couple of the positions could be possibly released tomorrow. I would hate to have to wait until next Tuesday over something out of all of our control.
Right.
But
Well, we have to see if anybody from the ESG is available.
They're logging on now, Jack.
They're logging on now, Mr. Jordan?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is
Good
Officer Milton.
afternoon. Mr. Jordan must have restored your power.
Well, the thing is that the power, they're working on trying to fix the generator over here.
Uh-huh.
So the power, there's no movement of inmates over here at all.
Okay. Wow.
So power been down since 10 this morning.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And I checked with them and they said still no movement.
Okay, gotcha. Well, we're
So-
trying to help as best we can.
Well, only thing I could suggest, Judge, is that we can try to see, I have to call Judge Long, see if she is willing and able, just like I did with you today,
Mhm.
if she will be able to do that counter, and I have to confirm with the jail court, Ms. Milton, will you be able to bring those inmates out on tomorrow at 2:00?
Yeah,
Yes,
that may be the bigger issue is being able to, right, bring them out. Okay, well, good luck with all of that. We will start our C calendar and we'll see what happens.
And
Well-
good afternoon, Judge. May I make
Yes.
one request?
Yes, you may.
Your Honor, I'm here in Cobb County in court, and it looks like my client, Mark Talley, is sitting at the table in front of you. And
Okay,
it's the first appearance on a reckless stunt driving, and that's all it is. And we just asking the court for a signature bond on his case.
okay, so you're asking me to go first. I get that, and I will. Let me open my script real quick, and then I will take you first, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Judge Regina Mincy, and we're going to begin our Fulton County State Court Expedited Accusations calendar. This is a calendar for cases in which individuals have recently been arrested and charged with certain misdemeanor offenses. Soon after their arrest, the Fulton County Solicitor General's office has already accused the cases of the offenses brought against them. The cases are then bound over to the Fulton County State Court. And nevertheless, this is usually the defendant's first or initial appearance before a state court judge. So we are able to address several matters, including bond, possible arraignment, and consideration of a possible plea offer if one has been made by the state at this juncture. And Ms. Bridgewater, what is the reset date?
The reset date for the SAP calendar is June the 1st.
All right, June the 1st. Got it. All right, I will begin by informing everyone that this whole entire proceeding is being recorded and live streamed on YouTube, and govern yourselves accordingly. I'm going to also remind the defendants on this calendar that you have certain constitutional rights. The first being that you have a right to representation. You should know who your attorneys are at this point. The second right that you have is the right to remain silent. Remember, anything that you state about the facts, the circumstances, and the occurrences of your case can and will be held against you. So listen to your attorneys. Attorney Patterson, which case do you have?
Mark Talley, Talley. I think I saw him when the Zoom first came on.
Okay,
Position number 12.
well, all right, hold on one second. All right, this is case number 23 CR 003162E, Mark Talley, charged with one count of reckless stunt driving, offense date April the 3rd, 2023. You have anything pre-trial?
The third arrest, 2014 DUI NOD, 2013 failure to appear dismissed. This was a jail recommendation.
All right. State?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident occurred on April 3rd, 2023 at Cortlandt Street and John Wesley Dobbs, Northeastern Atlanta. Law enforcement investigating street racing in the city of Atlanta watched a video uploaded to YouTube titled Atlanta Tree GSU Takeover. It showed the accused along with others driving a white Dodge Challenger vehicle, lane drag as they raced through the intersection of Cortlandt Street and John Wesley Dobbs Northeast. The streets were crowded and spectators and vehicles. The state does have concerns due to the nature of this offense and the risk that it posed to the pedestrians that were on the roadway at this time. So the state's going to recommend a bond of a $5,000 surety bond, curfew 8 p.m. to 6 a.m., no contact with Adrian Williams, Anthony Rogers. They were the other racers notated in the warrant, and no driving unless to work, home, medical, court, lawyer, or school.
All right. Mr. Patterson?
Your Honor, we were strongly opposed. My client happened to get caught up while he was traveling through, and all of a sudden he drives up and here's all these guys doing donuts and so forth. So he obviously tried to get out of the way, but they assumed he was a part of the crowd. He don't even know the co-defendants. He's a man who has a corporation, a businessman, a man in his 30s. He's not an 18-year-old young man. And so, Your Honor, the video will show him being in the crowd, but it won't show any donuts. He went through the intersection because he was trying to get away from that dangerous crowd. We would ask the court to grant him a signature bond without any restrictions. This man travels the whole country for his business. So I think the state is confused when they said that he was involved in street racing.
All right. I'm going to grant the $5,000 signature bond through the jail. I'm going to order no further violent contact with the agent, and I didn't catch the name, ASG Young. You said Agent Anthony Williams Rogers or something?
Adrian, ADRI, Adrian Williams, and Anthony Rogers. They were the other street racers notated in the warrant.
We'll just, for the record, Mr. Patterson, just say no further violent contact with them. And I'm not going to do a curfew or anything like that. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons or guns while on bond. And that will be the ruling of the court.
Thank you. And that's a $5,000 signature bond.
Yes, through the jail.
Thank you, Judge, and have a wonderful day.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Position 2, Ms. Clark.
This is 23 CR 0031557Y. Rhonda Clark, charged with 1 count of battery, 2nd count of theft by shoplifting. The offense date is February 22nd. I have 22nd and 23rd, 2023. Not for sure if it's 2 different dates or just 1 date. State will let us know. Pre-trial?
27 total. Last arrest was in August, theft by taking criminal trespass. That is open in state court, 22 CR 005-604Y. 2021 shoplifting obstruction, 2017 theft conviction, 2014 theft conviction. 2014 failure to appear, another theft arrest, another theft conviction, 2013 theft conviction, and a failure to appear.
All right.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, if I could interject, would it be possible to have a breakout room for this case?
If we need to, I hate to start them real early. Ms. Lewis.
We have other cases that also need breakout, Your Honor. I put them in the chat. I would need one on position 11, Mr. Saylor, and also on position number 5, Ms. Solms.
11, 5, and 2. Deputy, do you want to do those at the end with the breakouts, or you want to do it now?
We can go ahead and do them now and get them out the way.
Okay. All right. Yes, I didn't see that. I forgot to look at my chat.
Yes, Your Honor, I hate to interrupt, but we also will need one for position number 10 because that one requires a Spanish interpreter.
All right. We'll defer to the jail to tell us how they want to work it all out. 2, 5, 10, and 11, and 10 is the interpreter case. I do want them to get started. Which ASG and PD are for position 10?
That would be me, Your Honor, Samantha Adams.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I would also like to discuss case number 8, position 8, Mr. Leek.
All right. All these are breakouts?
Yes, Your Honor.
Almost going to say, just in the essence of
the waivers too. Actually, Judge, they do waiver.
Hey, Judge, we're gonna take this Spanish case to courtroom number 3 so they can do the breakout back there. And
please.
would it be okay for you to go ahead and do the waiver as well while we're doing it?
Yes, we could do that as well. All right. Now, bring me back. Are we still on position 2 that we're asking to go to the breakout?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm gonna try not to be long in these breakouts because they really drag the calendar down. And I'll give my ruling and come back on the record and just rule from what I said in the breakout, but we won't have any restatement of the facts. All right, put us in the breakout for position 2 on Rhonda Clark.
Are you gonna do all the breakouts at the same time or just?
I'd like to. Can we do them all at the same time, 2, 5, and 11? I know the interpreter is still going to probably be talking.
So the interpreter hasn't logged on yet.
Oh, we don't have an interpreter. Okay. All right. So 2, 5, and 2, 5, 8, and 11. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Put us in. And well, who all needs to be in the breakout? I guess I should have asked that question. I heard Adams, PD Adams.
Jacqueline Walker for case 11.
Your Honor, I just need to be in the breakout for the interpreter case.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't have our interpreter yet.
Breakout.
All right. Who needs to be in for position 2? Speak up. Speak up. If you don't, I'm gonna go to something else. I'm sorry.
They're in the breakout room.
I didn't get a message.
Mr. Jordan, can
Oh, I
you be
agree.
there also?
Who was that was just speaking?
That was me, Your Honor, Officer Norris. I want to ask, Ms. Folk, are they taking a plea for Mr. What's your name?
She's in the breakout room. She can't hear you.
Oh, she can't hear me?
You're already in there, Miss Holly. So judge everybody else in the breakout room. I'm about to put you in there.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, Jordan,
Yes, I'm still here.
I'm gonna give you a call.
Okay. So the Spanish interpreter is coming on now.
All right. No, it's about the plea.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on the record from our breakout. Pre-trial, you still there?
Holding on. Who we on?
We are on position 2.
Yeah, I gave that history, didn't I? You
No,
need that
I'm
history
sorry.
again?
No, we don't need the history. I'm sorry. That was one of the ones that we resolved. I was just getting ready to give my ruling, and I was making sure you were there.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Thanks for checking.
I know. All right, position 2, which is Rhonda Clark, 23 CR 003157Y. Charge of 1 count of battery, 2nd count of theft by shoplifting. And was I of the understanding, PD Wills or the state, do we have the victims on the line? In this case with Family Dollar?
I don't believe so. We can sound, Your Honor. I thought what was advised is that the defendant's son may have been on the line.
Okay, the son, I'm sorry. So do I have anyone related or connected to the defendant, Rhonda Clark? And do I have any of the victims, Mr. Wilson or Miss Wilson? Anyone with Family Dollar? Mr. Tay Smith, are you still on?
Yes, yes, I am. I'm her son.
Okay.
Let me.
Oh, okay. Yes, Mr. Smith, I'm going to go ahead and give you my ruling.
Yes.
We handled the matter in the breakout.
Okay.
And so this is going to be a $4,000 signature bond through the jail, $3,000 on the battery, $1,000 on the theft by shoplifting. And the conditions for the signature bond release or that Ms. Clark will continue with her meds and treatment.
Yes.
And that she will only be released to you. And I understand your name is Tavon, Tayvon Smith.
That's correct. Yes.
So you have to have your ID and things of that nature when you go down. We're only having her to be released to your care.
Okay.
So that you can make sure that she continues with her treatment.
Okay.
No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Okay.
And so that's what we will do. I don't know that you need any other instructions in going down to the jail except for having your ID. Anything else pre-trial to tell him?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right.
And Judge, there was also a stay away and no further contact.
Oh, I'm sorry, stay away. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Thank
Mhm.
you. Stay
no
away
problem.
from stay away from the Family Dollar, 100 West Broad Street in Fairburn, and no further contact with the victim or the manager or worker there, Miss Wilson.
Okay.
And one other thing, Judge, you did say for her, one of the conditions was to stay on her prescribed meds.
Thank you. Yes, the prescribed meds to stay on her meds.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Have a good
thank
one.
you. You too. All right, the next case is position,
Number 5, Ms. Floyd.
yes. This is 23 CR 003161G. Floyd is charged with 1 count of criminal trespass and damage to property. I am going to order a $5,000 surety bond. I'm going to order MHET. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And there is a stay away from the general cosmetic, stay away from 61 North Avenue in Atlanta. And no further contact with, is it Faith Hicks? And I believe that's it. Anything else, counsel? Nope.
Nothing from the defense.
All right.
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right. And deputy's position 8, which is leak, is reset till tomorrow, 5/19.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
And then the other one is position
It was 11, Your Honor.
11.
And
Yes, position 11 sailor is reset till tomorrow.
Your Honor,
5/19.
we have one of the victims on. I apologize, Judge, for cutting you off. We have one of the victims on, Ms. Walker, the owner of the property.
All right, on which, that's on,
The red J on your screen is Jacqueline Walker.
And she is for position 11.
Yes.
all right, Ms. Walker.
Yes.
Hi, we are resetting this case until tomorrow, the 19th, and we'll have to indulge of your time again to sign on for tomorrow. And hopefully we'll be able to have that bond hearing tomorrow, but it is reset, okay?
All right.
All right, thank you for your time. See you tomorrow.
Position
Okay.
1,
All right. This is 23 CR 003156Y Clifford Clark, charged at 1 count of battery, family violence, a 2nd count of battery. Offense date, May 16th, 2023, pretrial.
13 total. 2013 to 2012 arrest for probation violation. 2012 simple battery family violence conviction. That's it.
All right, state.
Your Honor, this incident occurred on May 16, 2023 at approximately 11:29 p.m. Incident location is 521 Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard, Northwest in Atlanta. When officers arrived, they spoke to Miss Atisha Lowe, who stated that the defendant grabbed her by the neck in an aggressive manner and struck her in the face. And she struck him in the face in self-defense. I apologize, Your Honor. Ms. Lowe had visible swelling to her upper lip and a cut. The defendant claimed that Lowe charged in his room, being verbally aggressive towards him and making threats. The defendant acknowledged that Lowe struck him after he grabbed her. Lowe and the defendant reside together, and Lowe stayed in the residence multiple times a night. His clothes were also at the residence. Lowe and the defendant were both arrested. Lowe's case has been transferred to the DA's office due to a prior family violence battery. As probation indicated, this individual has 13 cycles. We'd also like to highlight a 1989 battery conviction out of Fulton. The state pretrial services has advised you of the 2012 simple battery conviction out of Fulton, and we have 3 probation violations. In light of this information, Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting a $3,000 surety bond, $1,500 on each charge, no further contact with Atisha Lowe, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and no one-day anger awareness class.
All right. PD Wills.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Clark is 64 years old. He does have a high school diploma. He's from Georgia. He is currently unemployed and does qualify to be represented by the Public Defender's Office. And speaking with Mr. Clark, he stated that Ms. Lowe was the instigator and the primary aggressor in this instance, that she threw a dish at him, which struck him in the head. Well, I'm not sure where it struck him, I'm sorry, but it did strike him and he did have to receive stitches as a result. He stated that he defended himself and also tried to restrain Ms. Lowe, but that he was not trying to engage in any sort of physical altercation with her. He does not want any further contact with her. The home where this occurred, the residence where this occurred, is Mr. Clark's home and only his home. And so we would request, we understand that Ms. Lowe was also arrested. We would ask that she only be allowed or permitted back there with a law enforcement escort. Hopefully that will be a condition of her bond. I would ask the court to take under advisement the fact that Ms. Lowe does have a history of domestic violence, as her charges is evidenced by her charges being upgraded. And Mr. Clark's last arrest, looking at the pretrial report, was 2014. So for all of those reasons, I would ask for a signature on bond. If Your Honor is not so inclined, I would ask for a $750 surety bond.
All right. And so there was no stay away request from the state because this Joseph E. Lowry is the defendant's address. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to order the $3,000 surety bond, 1,500 on each charge. I'm going to order no further contact with Atisha Lowe. I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I guess I don't normally say this since we do know that the victim does not reside at that location, that she can have a one-time return, and that is the victim to retrieve her personal items with law enforcement only. And I think that's it. Anything else, counsel?
Nothing from defense.
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Could they put medical and Spanish interpreter in the breakout?
Say that again.
Medical,
Already.
Okay. And which number is that?
Spanish interpreter case.
Oh,
Position.
Spanish case. Gotcha.
This position 10.
Okay.
Next, we have position number 3.
Are we gonna hear 3 first or the other? Are they finished with the interpreter?
They've probably only been there about 3 minutes. So.
Oh, they're not. Okay. All right. Well, we'll
Like a,
gotcha. We'll do position 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is 23 CR 003159J. Kevin Commodore. Charge at 1 count of battery. Offense date April 18th, 2021.
Fourth arrest. Last was back in May on the 9th of this month out of Chatham County. Fugitive from justice, which is probably this arrest. 2004 possession of a Schedule 2 and 2001 simple battery. That's it.
Okay. State.
Your Honor, I'm going to like you to sound for the victim in this case when it's appropriate. She is on the line. This incident occurred April 18, 2021 at 3599 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive in Atlanta. Samantha Commodore stated that she and the defendant at the time were husband and wife. They were in the parking lot at their above address. Commodore and the defendant were having a verbal argument when Commodore left the parking lot and stopped at a red light. Defendant punched her in the mouth. Defendant exited the vehicle and fled the scene. Casey, a 5-year-old juvenile at the time, was in the vehicle and witnessed the attack. Samantha Commodore had a laceration to her lip that was visible to law enforcement. Since this incident, we would like to note for Your Honor that the victim and defendant are divorced. They no longer live together. They do share the child, Casey. The victim confirmed the events in the warrant, stated that her then 5-year-old daughter witnessed the incident, stated that she sustained a busted lip. The victim stated that after the incident, she went to a domestic violence shelter and went through the divorce process. She has since been granted sole custody of their daughter. And she stated that after the incident, the defendant did make threats to her that he would hit her again. She has since relocated, wants to continue with no contact with the defendant. Your Honor, in light of all of this, we are asking for a $4,000 surety bond on this defendant, $3,000 on the battery family violence, $1,000 on the cruelty to children in a 3rd degree, no further contact with Ms. Samantha Commodore, the alcohol, drugs, or weapons, 1-day anger awareness class.
I don't have the second charge.
It's cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. This accusation has been amended. You should have the amended accusation, Your Honor.
I don't have it either.
Let me see.
Mr. Jordan, has it been filed now? Or Ms. Lewis, either one.
which case are y'all on?
Number 3, Kevin Commodore.
So we have a battery, family violence, and a cruelty to children charge listed on us.
Okay,
I'll
All right.
add it on my calendar.
So it's probably followed after the calendar was sent out.
okay. All right, I have the second charge then, and that was the state's recommendation was $4,000 surety, 3,000 on the battery, and 1,000 on the cruelty. Was that the state's recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, I see that the victim, Ms. Commodore, was watching her. I was going to stop and interrupt to say I cannot have her to speak while she is driving. So Ms. Commodore, if you want to address the court, you need to pull over, stop driving. Can't talk to you while you're driving.
Your Honor, I think she's in the passenger seat. She's actually not in the driver's seat.
Oh, you're not driving?
No, I'm not driving. I'm in the passenger seat, ma'am.
Okay, I know that the camera turns backwards sometimes, but I couldn't tell. All right, would you like to address the court?
No, I'm just happy that he was found. The incident occurred on April the 18th. Your daughter was in the car with us.
You don't have to go over the facts with me. I'm clear on that.
Okay, gotcha.
And I guess my biggest concern at this point, and I know this was 2021, correct?
Yes.
Is that you are still in fear of Mr. Commodore?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
All right. And so that is what I needed to know. And like I said, this is not your court hearing for the case ultimately to be decided. This is a bond hearing. As long as you tell me you're still in fear, we will do all that we can to protect you and your child, KC.
Thank you.
All right. Any cross-examination by the state?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, PD Wills.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Commodore is 40 years old. As it was stated, this incident did occur over 2 years ago. He has resided in the state of Georgia for the past 15 years, and he does have a support system here. He reports that he has a master's degree in audio and video from Full Sail University. He does have employment through or with Healy's on the River. And as it has been stated, he is now divorced from the alleged victim, Ms. Commodore. They have had no contact since this incident or since their divorce, but it's been a very long time. My client has very limited history. This is his third arrest. One of those arrests is that fugitive from justice charge, which was a result from this case itself. My client reports that he has been working and been an active member of society, that he wasn't purposefully evading the law. And so for all of those reasons, I would ask for a signature on bond. If Your Honor is not so inclined, I would ask for a bond not to exceed $1,000.
And Your Honor, if I may, I just want to address the time frame. So in a perfect world prior to the pandemic, yes, this would have reached the statute of limitations. However, we did not stop tolling until June of 2021. And so that's what covers us and allows us to still prosecute this case because our window does not end until June of 2023.
Okay. All right, I'm going to order the $4,000 surety bond. That will be $3,000 on the battery, $1,000 on the cruelty. Gonna order a stay away. Or do I need to stay away from the $35.99 MLK?
No, we don't need to stay away from that location. She no longer resides there, Your
No
Honor.
longer resides there. You did say she relocated. All right, I'm going to order no further contact with the victim and the child, KC. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I believe that'll be it for now. Anything else, counsel?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing from the defense, Judge.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your time, Ms. Commodore.
Position 4, Davis.
This is 23 CR 003158J. Canaris, Davis, charged with 1 count of battery, offense date 5/15/2023.
Eighth adult arrest. Last arrest was in January out of Warner Robins probation. They got an open battery trespass out of East Point. Open suspended registration on probation in Houston County, possession of marijuana. He got put on probation for that back in March. 2022 battery trespass arrest and the 2023 probation. That pretty much sums it up. That's it.
Thank you, State.
Your Honor, I'm not sure exactly which one of us have this position. Give me just a moment.
Oh, okay.
Your Honor, did you say Davis?
Yes.
That will
Position
be me, Your Honor. I didn't.
Okay. It's okay.
I took my glasses off and stopped being able to hear. I apologize.
Okay. Thank you.
So, Your Honor, Mr. Davis's alleged incident occurred on May 15, 2023 at 6:19 p.m. at 1820 Dunlap Avenue, apartment 7 in East Point, Georgia. The defendant and the alleged victim, Miss Ashantia, Ashantia Anderson, were arguing, and the defendant struck her in the face. Anderson had visible swelling to her face. The defendant and Anderson reside together at the residence. We would like to highlight that this defendant has multi-state arrests. He has multiple arrests beginning in 2016. We respectfully request a $5,000 surety bond, stay away from 1820 Dunlap Avenue, apartment 7 in East Point. No further contact with Ms. Ashantia Anderson. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a 1-day anger awareness class.
All right. Petey Wills.
Thank you, Judge. My client is 34 years old. He is originally from Georgia. He does have his GED. He is currently unemployed, but does receive disability. My client states that this incident occurred after he failed to take his medication. And for confidentiality reasons, I won't go into what that medication is for, but he does state that he and Ms. Anderson got into an argument, that she hit him with a dog leash, and that he did defend himself, but then he left the residence to cool off. And then when he came back, law enforcement was there. Mr. Davis reports that he does not reside there. He and Ms. Anderson are or were in a relationship, and he would spend nights there, but his main residence is elsewhere. I had attempted to reach out to my client's mother to speak with Ms. Anderson, but of course I'm unsure of what her position is as far as contact, but my client would like no violent contact with her. Due to my client's limited income, I would request a signature on bond, and if Your Honor is not so inclined, I would ask for a bond not to exceed $1,000.
Your Honor, I'm not sure whether or not Ms. Anderson is on the call. I would ask that you sound for her.
All right. Ms. Ashanti Anderson, are you on the Zoom? Ms. Anderson. No, we have a few numbers or persons that are not noted as far as their names. All right, we will proceed. I'm going to rule that we enter into a $3,000 surety bond, that there will be a stay away from 820 Dunlap Avenue in East Point, apartment 7, no further contact with Ashanti Anderson, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. Anything else?
What was that bond again?
3,000 surety.
Nothing.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that does conclude my business. I will remain on the line, of course, but it looks like Adams is still in that breakout room. So
Right. Okay. All right, thank you, PD Wills.
Thank you.
Who do we have, deputies?
Are we ready for position number 7, Mr. Green?
Oh, yes,
Oh.
he is actually a pro se plea.
Oh,
I'm not sure if that paperwork has been completed. Ms.
I
Adams.
don't- go ahead. We don't like to take a plea if I don't have the paperwork, because we seem to never get it after the fact, right, Ms. Bridgewater?
Okay.
That is correct.
Let's see. Yeah, we're not ready yet.
Is the Spanish case ready?
I haven't seen them come back on. Miss Lewis or Mr. Jordan, are they still in the breakout?
They're still in the breakout room, Judge. I'll send them a message.
Yeah, send them a message and nudge them a little bit. I know it takes a little longer. Do we have anyone else, deputies? They're still in the breakout.
Position 9.
Okay. This is 23 CR 003163J, Deshaun Lowry, charged with 1 count of battery family violence. Pre-trial.
Your Honor, this is the remainder of the cases are Ms. Adams' cases.
Okay. We were gonna put you to work anyway. Let's see. Deputies, we're waiting on PD Adams to get out of the breakout.
Okay. Well, until then.
Mr. Jordan was gonna nudge them a little bit and say, we're waiting on you.
Well, okay, he's my last person besides the one with the plea.
Right. So we just have 9 and 10 left.
Has anyone sent the paperwork over to the jail for the plea?
We haven't received any paperwork. So.
No?
Yeah, that's a problem then.
Who's supposed to send over the paperwork, PD Wills?
My understanding is that the state sends it to the jail because once the client wants to accept the plea, we are no longer involved at that point.
All right, state, ASG Young, is that you?
Yes, Your Honor. If someone could provide me with the email address and I can send it over to the jail for it to be completed.
It used to be Officer Norris.
Is he around to receive it?
No, us. Hold on, he's coming now.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, he's here.
We need your email address, Deputy Norris.
Ms. Falk knows it.
Ms. Falk not doing it.
She's not
Ms.
doing it?
Falk knows it. I know he doesn't want to tell the whole world.
Oh, you know I'm not gonna tell the whole world, Your Honor. But who am I gonna send my email to? I'll send it to Young. I'll send it to you, Young.
Yeah, or send it to
Okay.
ASG Young. I don't want you to get too much fan mail. And then what happened to, I still had one more. Was 13 released? Did you have one more, Ms. Bridgewater?
I'm sure. What are we doing with now? Let me tell you what I do have. I have position 6, 7, 9, 10, and 13.
Oh, I had 7 down for the pro se plea.
Right. I didn't include that one since we're doing the paperwork.
Position number 13 said that he has a private attorney.
Yes, that he has a private attorney.
Who's that?
Welcome.
And we don't know who is that.
He's not a private attorney.
He's not.
He waived his appearance. He's supposed to be talking with Ms. Adams.
Officer Norris said that he waived his appearance. He talked to Ms. Adams.
Okay.
Well, let me check and see if I have any waivers.
Position number 6, she said ACDC.
And Ms. Adams did send the waiver.
And Ms. Adams did just send the waiver.
Okay, let me look and see what I have.
Mr. Green, he's in courtroom 2. And position number 9 is here in front of us.
Okay.
Position 10 is a Spanish case.
Right.
Okay, I'm showing one waiver I've received for Mr. Walker.
Okay.
That's the only waiver I have.
It's for 13. But isn't 13 the one with the private attorney, not PD Adams?
No, it's Adams.
Oh, it is Adams. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we can do that one, I guess, huh? Oh, but you don't have it.
She's in the breakout room.
Yeah, she's in the breakout, so we can't do her.
Oh, duh. Okay. Forgot. Sorry.
We're kind of stuck like Chuck right now.
Okay.
Mr. Young.
Hey, I'm getting it done right now.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you received it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, I was having trouble starting my video. Apologize. Are we ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
We're ready. This is position number 9, Mr. Lowry.
Oh, I thought we were doing 10.
Your Honor, I'm not sure if they brought Mr. Martinez because they moved him to a different location so that he wouldn't interrupt court. I know he should be back any second now if he's not back yet.
Okay, we will do number 9, 23 CR 003163J. LaShawn Lowry, charged with 1 count of battery. Free trial.
Third arrest. Last arrest was 2021 battery DV. That's open. 21 CR 000289J. That's a $10,000 pretrial bond.
All right. State?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident occurred back in November 29th, 2021 at 2087 Lakewood Trail in Atlanta, Georgia. The victim in the case is Lauren Lowry. She is the accused wife. Our officers had no contact with her, but I do see her on the Zoom, so I would ask you to sound for her when appropriate. Law enforcement responded to this location, spoke with the victim who stated that her husband became upset. After he looked through her phone, he grabbed her and struck her several times in the face, which resulted in a laceration to her face and a bruise to her elbow. The state has a series of concerns here, given the fact that he does have an open case, 21 CR 00298J, a battery, family violence, and cruelty, with the victim being the same from January 26th of 2021. And he's out on the $10,000 signature bond through pretrial with conditions, which included no further violent contact with the victim. Here we are back addressing a battery that occurred while he was on bond. He wasn't supposed to have this violence against the victim, so the state does have some concerns about reoffense. And this is a classic cycle of domestic abuse. The first assault, he threw her and caused a visible injury. We had no issues for a while. This case, he brutally punched her in the face multiple times. Although a great deal of time has passed, it is still deeply concerning for the state, given this situation. So we asked for a $6,000 cash bond, stay away from 2087 Lakewood Trail, Atlanta, Georgia, no further contact, 1-day anger awareness, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on bond. And would ask the court again to sound for the victim when appropriate.
All right, it's Lauren Lowry.
Your Honor, I know she's having some issues with her audio. She just left it in the chat. I'm not sure if she can hear now.
She just logged back on.
Yeah.
Ms. Lowry, do you wish to address the court today?
No, not at this time.
Okay, thank you. All right, PD Adams.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Deshaun Lowry is a 31-year-old father of 3. His children ranging, they are the ages of 4, 6, and 10 years old. Mr. Lowry and Mrs. Lowry have been married for 7 years. He's a very active parent. He's a business owner, a joint business owner with his wife, Mrs. Lowry. They own a restaurant and a food truck. He has 2 years of college education. He also offers his children and people who have recently been released from jail employment opportunities. He works 7 days a week and is a very active father. He was raised here in Georgia. His father lives here. His family lives here, so he has lots of ties to the community. So flight is not an issue for him. The couple, both Mr. and Mrs. Lowry, have moved past it, but his pretrial release for the other case that the state has mentioned, which doesn't have anything to do with this case, did require him to do FVIP. He completed that. He and his wife also chose to do some additional marital counseling, just because at that time in their lives, they were having some issues. So they decided to go ahead and get some counseling. Like I said, have since worked many of those things out. There have been no incidents since 2021. We are in the middle of 2023. He does want contact. I have actually been in contact with Miss Lowry. I was the one that provided her with the Zoom link for today. She does want contact. She does not fear her husband, especially for the sake of their 3 children. And with that, Your Honor, we are asking for a signature bond for Mr. Lowry because although they do have a food truck and a restaurant, business has been very slow. So money has been very tight. He and his wife have not been paying that. They don't have a payroll for themselves at this time, but they are doing what they can to survive and manage to take care of their children. They do not qualify just based off of for the PD services, just based off of the amount of money they do get based on their bills. But again, we'd be asking for a signature bond or a $500 good bond.
What was the state's recommendation again?
Yeah, there was a $6,000 cash bond. Stay away, no further contact, 1-day anger awareness, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. If the court is not inclined for a cash bond, we would ask for a surety bond, $6,000 surety bond.
I'm going to order a $10,000 surety bond. I'm going to order a stay away from 287 Lakewood Trail. No further contact with Lauren Lowry. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I think that's all I'll order at this time.
Your Honor, I do have a question. Again, because Mr. Lowry and Mrs. Lowry share 3 children and he is an active parent, we would also request that he have third-party contact in order to be able to interact with his children.
I will say that there should be a third party to facilitate the visitation. There's still no further contact with Ms. Lowry. If she allows visitation, then that will have to be facilitated by a third party. He still cannot contact her or talk to her about it. Needs to find someone else to do that so that he doesn't violate his conditions of bond by having no contact with her.
Understood, Your Honor. Ms. Lowry is in the chat and she's asking if she can speak.
I've already given my ruling, Ms. Lowry. What would you? I'll give you a few seconds. You have to turn on your camera. I have to be able to see you to speak to you.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Do you wish to address the court briefly?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay. What would you like to state?
Is it possible that any way that with the no contact that could be waived or lifted, because it would be very difficult being that we have our businesses together and the kids as well. And I know that the kids need their father. They often ask about him a lot, being that he's working so much. So it would be a huge help.
Well, what I stated about visitation with the children is if you allow the visitation, that it has to be facilitated by a third party. A relative or a friend or someone like that could get them from you, visit with him, bring them back so that he doesn't have any contact with you. I'm very concerned about the 2 cases. He was out on bond and committed another act with you. So that's very concerning. We're trying to make sure that you and your children are going to be safe. That's the first and main concern is your safety and that we don't have any more incidents.
Understood.
So I'm not going to allow any contact for the visitation. It should be at least some other person that will be able to help you all facilitate that if you're going to allow visitation with them. As far as your businesses go, it's unfortunate, but again, for your safety, can't be around him to work in the business. So, we've got to make sure. I mean, he completed an FVIP, but I guess he didn't learn much from that. So we have to make sure that you and your children are in a safe environment.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I think the FVIP was, he completed that after the alleged second incident, the second warrant was taken out for him. So
But it was ordered as a condition of the first one.
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, back in 2021.
Yes, Your Honor.
But he didn't complete it until when?
It was completed, Mr. Lowry, do you recall when you completed your FVIP class?
Yes, ma'am. I want to state that it was around March of 2022.
March of 2022.
Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor. And this warrant for his current arrest was taken out in 2021.
Okay. All right. Well,
Your Honor,
I will want to make sure that we don't have any more incidents. So I need to protect the victims at this point.
Mr. Lowry, no, it's not a good time.
Judge, what's that bond amount?
$10,000 surety.
10,000?
Yes.
All right. PD Adams, that'll be a total of 20,000, just so you know.
All right.
Then you can go through a bonding company, correct?
Correct.
All right. That will conclude this case. Thank you, Ms. Lowry, for your time.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I can't address that all.
You're represented by counsel, and I imagine you're going to make some statements against your interests that will hurt your case, and your attorney does not want you to speak, I believe. Do you have a question about your bond conditions?
Well, what I have a question is, how would I be able to continue to provide for our family if we cannot work together? We are the only two people that run the business. We have a couple employees, but due to COVID and the times that it is, it's become very challenging, and we both have to work to provide for the kids that you're stating to keep safe, which they've always been safe. But in order to provide, we have to work together. So I'm just trying to gain an understanding of how do you envision that?
Well, what I envision is that we would not be here talking about 2 incidents of domestic violence. And so since we're here talking about that first and foremost, the other things are not as important to me at this point, because we want to make sure that the victims in this case are safe. And that is the court's first priority. You can still work in the business and mail money and support to your children and your wife if that's what you intend to do. But I am not here to work that out for you. I'm just here to make sure that she and the children are going to be safe.
So take their father away from
Mr.
protect.
Mr. Lowry, that's enough.
All right, thank you. That'll conclude this case. What do we have next, Deputy?
We got the interpreter case,
All right.
position 10.
All right, Madam Interpreter, can you raise your right hand for me? All right, you're still on mute.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
All right, thank you. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will faithfully interpret from Spanish to English, English to Spanish, the proceedings of this court today in an accurate manner and to the best of your skill and knowledge with no embellishments?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, this is 23 CR 003165D. Joaquin Martinez Arellana, charged with 5 offenses. The first being DUI under the influence of alcohol is safe, driving, hit and run, striking an unattended vehicle, driving improper erratic lane change, and another count of striking an unattended vehicle, all that occurred on May 16, 2023.
Este es el caso 23 CR 003165D. Es el caso del señor Joaquín Martínez Orellana, quien está siendo acusado y se le ha puesto 5 acusaciones o 5 cargos. Una es de manejar bajo la influencia del alcohol, 2 de manejar, golpear y fugarse, 3 de golpear un vehículo no atendido, 4 de manejar inapropiadamente y cambiarse de carriles inapropiadamente y 5 golpear un vehículo, otro cargo de, otra acusación de golpear un vehículo no atendido. Y todo esto ocurrió el 16 de mayo del 2023.
Pretrial.
Second arrest, 2022 DUI. It was reduced to basic rules / reckless driving conviction.
La juez pide los antecedentes y tiene 2, este es el segundo arresto. El primer arresto fue en el 2022, también por lo mismo, manejar bajo influencia del alcohol, lo cual fue reducido a reglas básicas de la carretera y a manejar sin cuidado.
That's all.
All right, State.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident occurred on May 16th, 2023 at 2 different locations. The first location being 875 Mansell Way and 144 Roswell Commons Way in Roswell, Georgia.
Sí, su señoría. Esto sucedió el 16 de mayo del 2023 en 2 ubicaciones. La una es la 875 de Mansell Way y la otra de la 144 Roswell Commons Way, las 2 en Georgia, en Roswell, Georgia.
Your Honor, there are 3 victims in this case, one being a Nathan Trottier, Darnell Candy, and Jordan Mines. Law enforcement were dispatched to this area in reference to a hit and run report and spoke with victims Nathan Trottier and Darnell Candy.
Hay 3 víctimas en este caso, su señoría, el señor Nathan Trottier, el señor Darnell Candy y el señor Jordan Mans. La policía fue despachada y llegó a la dirección y habló con 2 de las víctimas, el señor Nathan Trottier y el señor Darnell Candy.
They advised law enforcement that the defendant struck 2 vehicles at this location before fleeing. They were able to provide the defendant's license plate number.
Ellos 2 le dijeron a la policía que usted había golpeado los vehículos y se había fugado y ellos pudieron darle el número de su placa.
While officers were being dispatched to the registered address for their license plate, there was a report of a second hit and run where the accused
Go ahead, sorry.
Where the accused struck a vehicle driven by Jordan Mines.
Cuando la policía recibió la llamada por el primer choque, mientras estaban respondiendo a esa llamada, recibieron una segunda llamada porque había golpeado a otro vehículo, el vehículo de un señor Jordan Mans.
The reporting officer, while still at the first scene, was dispatched to 144 Roswell Commons Way in reference to a male laying on the ground beside a vehicle matching the suspect description vehicle.
Mientras el agente de policía estaba todavía en el lugar del primer choque, recibió un despacho a que vaya a la dirección de 144, la de Roswell Commons Way, porque había un hombre que estaba acostado en el piso al lado de un vehículo que es el vehículo que estaban buscando.
Law enforcement noted a strong odor of alcohol coming from his person. He was transported to North Fulton Hospital to assess his injuries, and they also located a small bottle of alcohol in his pocket during transport.
Los agentes de la seguridad, de la policía, notaron que el aliento a alcohol parte lo transportaron a North Fulton Hospital para ver si tenía lesiones o la extensión de esas lesiones, y en el camino le encontraron en su persona una botella de alcohol pequeña.
Jordan Mines did show up and identify the defendant as the driver.
Jordan Mans llegó allá e identificó al acusado como el conductor.
Given his previous DUI arrest last year, the state's recommendation is a $10,000 split bond.
Tomando en cuenta el primer arresto, la recomendación de la fiscalía es una fianza de $10,000 dividida.
The breakdown being $3,000 for the DUI, $2,000 surety for the hit and run, $2,000 surety for each striking unattended vehicle, and a $1,000 signature through pre-trial services for driving erratic. Also, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and alcohol, drug evaluation and treatment. And that's all for the state.
Y lo que la fiscalía está recomendando es un bono asegurado de $3,000 por el manejar embriagado, o 2 bonos de $2,000 cada uno por el pegar y fugarse, también asegurados. De ahí $2,000 de $1,000 por manejar mal, y eso puede ser nada más con su firma. Aparte de esos $10,000, no alcohol, no bebidas alcohólicas mientras está bajo fianza, y no puede poseer ningún arma. También se le ordenaría evaluación de uso de drogas y tratamiento de uso de drogas y alcohol. Eso es lo que la fiscalía está proponiendo.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Martinez is a 40-year-old man who is from El Salvador and has been in the United States for the last 23 years.
El señor Martínez Orellana es un hombre de 40 años de edad. Esta es su abogada que está hablando ahora. Él es procediente de El Salvador y ha estado ya como 23 años aquí en el área.
And for the 23 years that he has been here in this country, he has worked as a landscaper for almost the entire 23 years. He also does some volunteer work with his church, and his highest level of education is that he has a high school diploma. He has 2 children with his girlfriend. They've been together for 14 years. And on the incident date, Mr. Martinez wanted me to let the court know that he did suffer from a medical condition. I know that he was in fact brought to North Fulton Hospital upon him being arrested. With that, Your Honor, we are requesting, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Él está por los 23 años, casi por todos los 23 años que ha vivido aquí. Él ha trabajado en la yarda y hace trabajo de voluntario en su iglesia. Ha estado 14 años con su novia, con la mamá de sus hijos, que tiene 2 hijas. Quiere también que quepa decir que el día de que esto sucedió, él estaba sufriendo de una condición médica, la cual fue la razón que se lo llevaron al hospital de North Fulton.
He is a very active parent, and in order to be able to maintain his job and continuing to interact with his children, Your Honor, he doesn't qualify for our services, but he also doesn't make a lot of money, so he is going to have to hire another attorney if he so chooses. And with that, Your Honor, we're requesting a signature bond or a low bond for Mr. Martinez.
El señor Martínez es un padre que participa participa en el crecimiento de sus hijas. Aparte de eso, por su trabajo no califica a los servicios gratuitos de un abogado, entonces él va a tener que contratar su propio abogado para que lo represente y pagarle. Entonces estoy pidiendo, su señoría, por el señor que se le dé una fianza nada más con su firma o una fianza baja.
All right. I'm going to order the $10,000 split bond. So that'll be $8,000 surety and $2,000 signature bond through the jail. The $8,000 for the surety bond, the breakdown is $3,000 on the DUI, $2,000 on the hit and run, $2,000 striking unattended vehicles on each of those. And so those are the surety bond amounts for $8,000. And then the improper erratic lane change is a $1,000 signature bond through the jail. I'm going to order ADET, and I'm going to order no driving except for going to work, going for medical treatment, or to see his attorney or for court. Otherwise, he shouldn't be driving. Probably shouldn't drive also unless he has a valid driver's license through DDS. And if he doesn't, he can't go to any of those. I guess he'll have to get an Uber. Any questions?
Entonces, oh, hold on, Your Honor.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
Entonces, la orden de la juez es, le va a dar fianza por una fianza, un bono de fianza dividido, $8,000 asegurados. Esos son, y $2,000 nada más bajo firma, para un total de $10,000. Los $8,000 asegurados es $3,000 por el manejar bajo la influencia de alcohol, $2,000 por golpear y fugarse y $2,000 por el de golpear a los vehículos. De ahí está ordenando que usted no maneje, excepto para el trabajo, para citas médicas y para visitar a su abogado. Únicamente si es que tiene licencia de conducir del estado de Georgia. Si no tiene licencia de conducir, no debe estar manejando para ningún lado por ninguna razón. Entonces puede tomar un Uber.
Okay. Anything further?
Nothing.
Counsel?
Eso es todo.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Will that be all the business for the interpreter at the counter?
Yes, I believe that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor. Then may I be excused?
Yes, you may.
Okay, have a good afternoon.
You too. Thank you. Okay.
He has a question.
It's too late. The interpreter is gone.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait, Senor. Interpreter, she's gone. Okay? And I'll call your wife. I mean your girlfriend.
Position 6.
Like I'm doing.
This is 23 CR 003166G. Is it Denisha Gant?
Your Honor, Denisha Gant was supposed to be someone I was supposed to speak with. When I was in contact with the jail, they informed me that Gant was released.
No, she was at ACDC.
Oh, that's right. I have it ACDC.
Position 6 is Ms. Gant, I'm saying.
Right.
This is
Position
not,
number 7 is the plea.
Yes, ma'am.
is this Mr. Green?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So 6 is gonna be reset till tomorrow?
I assume because they never,
Got back with you? Yeah, okay. We'll reset it till tomorrow. All right. Mr. Green,
Yes,
is it Dwayne?
Yes, ma'am.
23 CR 003164E. I understand that you wish to represent yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you understand the consequences of representing yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you intend to want to go forward and take a plea in your case with 1 count of criminal trespass?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll let you do that. Let me ask you a series of questions. Make sure that you understand the nature of your plea and what you're doing here. You're charged in 23 CR 003164E with 1 count of criminal trespass. The offense date is May 17th, 2023. State?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommendation in this case is 12 months, serve 1 day, credit for time served 1 day with the balance suspended, and to stay away from 902 Donnelly Hollowell Parkway in Atlanta. That is the Shell station at that location where he was arrested.
All right. All right. So did you hear that, what the state said, Mr. Green?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your understanding of the plea offer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is that what you're willing to plead guilty to today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you stipulate, well, I forgot, you don't have an attorney. Let me ask you this, are you presently under the influence of any medication, drugs, or alcohol?
No.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up or waiving the right to the presumption of innocence?
Yes.
And that you're giving up or waiving the right to remain silent and not testify against yourself?
Yes.
And that you're giving up and waiving the right to trial by judge or jury, whichever you prefer?
Yes.
And you are prepared and agree to waive these rights today, is that correct?
Yes.
Has anyone told you that you'll receive a lesser sentence for pleading guilty?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything to plead guilty?
No.
And do you understand that if you're currently on probation, your probation may be revoked or affected by this guilty plea today?
Yes.
And do you offer this guilty plea freely and voluntarily with the full understanding of the charge against you?
Yes.
All right, and so to the charge of criminal trespass, how do you plead?
Yes.
All right, I will accept your guilty plea. And again, the conditions are that you will stay away
Yes.
from the
Gas station.
gas station. Was it the Exxon?
Shell.
Shell.
Mhm.
All right, please do not go back there, else you'll end up back here. Stay away from there on Donnelly Hollowell Parkway, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Mhm.
Okay, in courtroom 2, we are finished.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I guess we're just holding on the waiver, position number 13.
Right, PD Adams.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, do we still have a waiver on 13? And we're
Yes,
going
Your-
forward?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll do that one now. This is 23 CR 003160C. LaRon Walker, charge of 1 count of failure to obey a stop sign, 2nd count driving hit and run, 3rd count driving while license suspended or revoked. Offense date 12/17/2022. Pretrial.
32 total. Last arrest was last month out of the cab, failed to appear. Got an open simple battery trespass, pointing, aiming gun or pistol at another. On probation in Clayton, theft by receiving. possession of a firearm by a convicted felon or felony first offender, suspended license, giving false name, misdemeanor possession of marijuana. He got an open capital case in Superior Court, 23 CP 218563. That's it.
All right, State.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident occurred December 17, 2022 at the Forest Park Road and South River Industrial Boulevard in Atlanta. The state has some concerns about this individual. We feel he is reckless and a violent individual. But anyway, law enforcement responded to a hit and run at this location where the victim stated that he was driving on South River when a vehicle ran the stop sign at the intersection of Forest Park, striking the side of his vehicle. The driver exited the vehicle and left the scene in another vehicle without providing any information to the victim being Santrez Fitton. We'd also ask the court to sign for him. I believe he is on the Zoom. As pretrial has stated, we do have some concerns given his current capital case in Superior Court. One common element that I'm seeing with his cases is this hit and run, where even in the capital case, he's charged with a hit and run, driving with suspended license, among the other violent cases like ag assault, murder, and possession of a firearm. So with that being said, and he also he's a multi-state offender. I saw 2 arrests out of Indiana. So we're asking for a $5,000 surety bond. That's $1,000 on the failure to obey the stop sign, $3,000 for the hit and run, and $1,000 driving with suspended license, no driving, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. And he does have 2 foreign holds, being Clayton and DeKalb. Nothing further.
All right. And the victim, again, his name?
Santrez.
What is it?
Santrez Fitton. I'm here on the line at the moment.
I see you. Tell me again, Mr. Young, Cantrez, what?
Santrez, SANTREZ FITTEN.
I'm sorry, I'm not following the last name.
Fitton, F as in Frank, I as in India, T as in Tom, T as in Tom, E as in Ego, N as in Nancy.
Okay, Fitton. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And you wish to address the court briefly?
Yes, ma'am.
I have to swear you in first. Raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. And this is a bond hearing. This is not your trial. This is not your ultimate hearing for the case. So I just caution you in that I don't need to go over all of the facts because this is not the hearing for the ultimate decision in the case. So what is it that you would like to tell the court today?
Your Honor, on December 17, 2022, my mother and my 3 kids was in the car coming down South River Industrial Boulevard, heading home. Mr. LaRon Walker came down the hill at a very fast speed, ran into my car. When we did stop, the car spinning around, and I don't know what went on from there because the airbags deployed. Anyway, cut down my story. When he got out the car, Mr. Walker had a gun on him at the moment when he found out that I was a deputy sheriff for Fulton County. He immediately called someone and jumped in the car with them, which was a female. What he did was really uncalled for. And I would like to be present if this, if it is another court case. I would like to be present in this with my kids and my mother, so they can go ahead and tell the full story, what he done.
Right. And that will happen. I'm assuming that the victim witness advocate, if they haven't already contacted you, they have from the solicitor's office, and they will keep in touch with you. You will be notified of every court date in order to attend and give your victim impact statements at the proper time for that. I do have a sense of what happened and how serious it was, and obviously how fortunate it is that you are here to talk about it. So I do understand
And
how scary it must have been.
yes, ma'am. And I was out of work for a short period of time behind this. I do have neck, back, and leg pain, which I was advised later on I may have to get injections in my neck, if not surgery. My kids is very shaken up from this, and I would like to be present for justice behind this right here.
All right. And also, I guess, too, they will inform you to get your medical evidence and your cost and things of that nature and give that to the solicitors as well.
I over photos from the accident scene to the solicitor office this morning, and I'm going to get all medical records regarding the 5 of us that was involved in the accident. So on the next court case, I will have all of that present, along with printed photos of my car at the accident scene, as well as at the impound yard.
Right. And your, any damages or medical costs and things of that nature. Certainly sounds like your car was totaled though, right?
My car is totaled. So I have the, like I said, again, I do have the photos to show concrete evidence of everything. And I will make sure I have all of that in court. I'm actually in the courthouse, so that one to get to the solicitor office, we're in the same building.
Okay.
So that one.
Well, they have a great victim witness section, and they will certainly take care of you. Is there any cross-examination questions by the state of this witness or victim?
By the defense,
Nothing from the state.
Nothing
Okay.
from defense, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. And we appreciate your time. Just mute yourself for me, Mr. Walker.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Fitton.
And you have a good day, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. All right. PD Adams.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. As the court has stated, the matters which are brought here today are for the purposes of bond, not to determine whether or not any facts that have been alleged have in fact happened or be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. With that being said, Your Honor, Mr. Walker is a 36-year-old man. He's been in Georgia for about 20 years. He has ties to the community. He's a high school graduate. Currently, one of the reasons why we did waive presence for Mr. Walker is because he's currently in medical. He has a severe leg injury, which actually has him confined to a wheelchair. Your Honor, with that, because he does have a hold out of Clayton County and he has a hold out of DeKalb County, we're asking for a signature bond. We do understand that he won't be released to the street. He'll essentially be released to the custody of one of those other agencies. And with that, that's our request.
All right. So I heard he has 2 foreign holds.
Yes, Your Honor.
Clayton and
DeKalb.
And this happened in December.
That's correct, Your Honor. December 17th, 2022.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and issue an order of $5,000 surety bond. That'll be $1,000 on the failure to obey stop sign, $3,000 on the DUI, and $1,000 on the driving while license suspended. Just a total of $5,000 surety bond. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. I'm going to order no further contact with the victims and no driving except for to go to work or for medical attention or to see his attorney. And I think that's it. Anything else, counsel?
Yeah, and I believe his license is suspended. So unless he's licensed, I would probably ask the court to add that condition.
Yeah. And if his license are suspended, obviously no driving unless he has a valid license from DDS.
Your Honor, I just wanted to make sure I clarified. It was 1,000 surety on the driving while licenses was suspended, 1,000 surety on the failure to obey stop sign, and 3,000 surety on the driving hit and run.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, that'll conclude this case.
And I think that's it, Your Honor.
That is it. All right, let's reconcile when you're ready.
I'm ready. Once again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is June the 1st. Position number 1 is going to the SAP calendar with a $3,000 total good bond. Position 2 is reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through the jail. Position 3 is going to the SAP calendar with a $4,000 total good bond, and we did add cruelty to children in the 3rd degree to this case. Position number 4 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $3,000 good bond. Position 5 SAP calendar with a $5,000 good bond. Position 6 is being reset till tomorrow. Position 7 took a plea. Position 8 reset till tomorrow. Position 9 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $10,000 good bond. Position 10 reset to the SAP calendar with a $10,000 total split bond. Position 11 is being reset till tomorrow. Position 12 is reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through the jail. And position 13 is going to the SAP calendar with a $5,000 total good bond. Are there any questions, comments, or otherwise?
Nope. All right, that'll do it.
All right, well, everybody have a good one.
Everybody
Judge,
have a
the
good
paperwork
one.
is on its way to you.
Thank you. All right,
You're
take care, everyone.
All righty, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.